why it is important then for churches today to have a whole person ministry. Anything you would like to say to churches in general about why it's important today in our time?
Well, what I will say, I will just add some more information about the
Yes.
evolution of what happened
Yes.
at Bethel. You see, because we moved further, much further
Yes.
than the primary care, the curative approach in the church.
Right.
Because then we developed a model which was comprehensive,
Yes.
right? Meaning that there would have been the health promotion, then
Yes.
the prevention, the curative, and the rehabilitative, right? So when it comes to the promotion part, we would have talks, for example,
Yes.
health talks to the different groups in the church and the communities,
Mm.
talking
Yes.
about healthy lifestyles and nutrition and other things, and then we would have also talks in family months about promoting healthy families, parenting, and so on, right?
Nice.
And then children who are being blessed in the church, they would have some education about parenting before this process. Premarital counseling is also
Oh,
a part to promote healthy marriage and prevent marital and family problems, you see. And then beyond that now, we also have had support groups. We have a bereavement support group for
okay.
people who have been going through grief. Because you know that grief is a very difficult process.
Oh, yes.
And if you don't deal with it appropriately, then it can lead to other serious problems.
Yes.
And this group would not only have discussions, but it would be there for people, helping them with the funeral arrangements, practical arrangements, whatever some practical help they would need, as well as coming together in discussion. And people would come in from outside, experts, give talks, and so on. Then we also have had a support group for persons who have had chronic illnesses, long-term illnesses like cancer, diabetes, depression, and other things like
Mm.
that. And it was started by a cancer survivor.
Yes.
It was one way of her sharing with others out of our own experience. And that is called Rays
Wow.
of Sunshine. Rays of
Yes.
Sunshine, right? And then we have had a support group for people with HIV.
Okay.
Yes. And also for people with mental health challenges. We also have that support group, right?
Wow.
And then beyond those special support groups, what we felt is that every member of the church should have an opportunity of being in a support group situation. So every
Yes.
member has a birthday, has a birth month. So we have 12 birth months groups in the church.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and each birth month group now, people that they will share together on WhatsApp. They will have meetings for their birth months. You know, meetings, many of them have a special project that they relate to help others, right? And of course, each month they have a inspiration um, in the church for
Yes.
prayer meeting time, and they're involved in that inspiration. And then they're involved in reading the lessons every Sunday. You have somebody from
Okay.
a particular birth month, right? So all these different ways they get to know one another and they get to be more involved in the church, right?
And all of that came out of the healing ministry.
Yes,
I wasn't even aware that all those actually came out of the healing ministry.
yes.
Wow.
And then what had happened now is that the church now begun to think beyond
Yes.
that, because several things split off, because the um, birth month groups That's a thing on its own now.
Yes.
We have had a prayer and visitation program. The
Okay.
visitation program is on its own now.
Yes.
And every homebound member of the church has a visit once a month, and they are given communion. Every homebound. We have
And it's a huge church.
yes, we have a prayer ministry, and everybody can call in for prayer.
Yes.
And of course, in the whole person clinic, we have had somebody there available to pray with patients with their permission.
Yes.
Right. So, but the church has begun to look at other needs. So, for example, when you look at rehabilitation, the people who are homeless,
Yes.
right, that we now have them coming in 4 times a week. And we have at least probably 80 or so people involved in that program. They come in, they get a meal, they can have a shower, right?
Mm.
We have a Goodwill store with good clothes that even more members buy clothes, they're members, but they can get good clothes at a lower cost.
Yes.
And then we have a special program where they are assessed for any physical problems they may have, any psychological problems, social work problems, and give them the appropriate referral.
Yes.
Right? So that is rehabilitation in terms for the
Amazing.
homeless. Yes, and then we have in the church now dealt with other problems like legal aid, because people have legal problems,
Excellent.
And then we have education programs, for the persons who have left school but still need remedial education. We have a homework center as part of our education ministry, right?
Yes.
If people have financial concerns, that's whole person too. So we have a Swift cooperative, which is like a credit union.
Oh my.
And, as you know, if you're a member of that cooperative, you are a shareholder.
Indeed.
And then persons can put in funds, and out of what they have put in, others can borrow money for their education, for their emergency health needs. So that's how we have helping others in the church in their life development. And we also have a health insurance program as part of that. And we have built up a tidy sum in terms of assets, and several people from other churches and denominations. Most of the members are from outside. So we serve beyond the church as well in this area of investment and self-care, financial. Yes,
Wow.
And
the mustard seed growing into a big tree.
The other thing is that if we have a care team.
Yes.
Where if there's any member of the church who the family has difficulty dealing with them or helping them, coping with their illness or situation, that the church becomes involved and will try in every way possible to meet that person's needs so the person doesn't fall out of the system, and doesn't get unusually ill or whatever, So every member of the church is taken care of as well. That is part of what we consider the healing congregation. And we have a cyber center for helping older people to learn how to use the phone and the computer. We are even going to have classes for AI,
Oh, yes?
Yes. We also have a program to train persons to become housekeepers. Yes.
Interesting.
But when we have the skill training, that's part of the skill training program.
Oh,
so almost every aspect of human life that you can think of.
Yes.
As a church, part of our holistic approach, that we try to minister. So it's
a true healing congregation.
Yes. So it's the total person being ministered to, by total ministry, by the total congregation.
Say that again for me.
The total person
Yes.
being ministered to
Yes.
by total means, meaning medicine, men and women and miracle. Total
Yes.
means by the
Yes.
total congregation.
I love that. A
Yeah.
total person, total means by the total congregation.
Yes. So that is the essence of the vision. Yes.
It is fantastic. And I know too that there are so many things that some of the other basic expansions, which I have seen, we probably just passed over them, that there is a pharmacy.
Yes, there's a pharmacy, which is part of our economic sustenance or sustainability, because
Yes.
the pharmacy, the earnings from the pharmacy is then able to help the ministry to be sustainable.
Fabulous.
Yes.
And I know that there's now a coaching ministry as well as part of it as well.
Yes, we have a coaching ministry, life coaching ministry. Yes, you see. And of course, we have full-time counselors and so on. And we also now provide services for people with eye testing, and
Okay.
can get appropriate glasses. We have a nutritionist, and we have a physiotherapist in-house, and so on. So many types of services.
Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, what I am hearing is you have pioneered something which has taken on a life of its own with the buy-in of the entire congregation. And on top of that, of course, and when God's people come together and buy in and do their part, because it's not a one-person show at all, then there's no limit to what God can do.
Exactly.
With willing servants, willing participants who give of their best.
Yes.
And then there are creative ways, and I heard you plug earlier the administration too, because sometimes we forget that without good administration, God's purposes will not be fulfilled either. Sometimes we're focusing on the healer, the clinicians and so on, and forget that it needs to be well run. So
exactly.
So and I heard about the training of the layperson, and then of course the other part that is fascinating is that people know, because of the foundation that is there, we're able now to take their specific things, like for instance, somebody going through their own illness was able to see, oh, here I have a space where I can now minister to other people and meet with other people and have a support group, which is now bigger than me. So
exactly.
Once the ethos is there, then
there's an aspect of the church community. So what this is saying is that the whole congregation is greater than the sum of its parts.
Excellent.
Its members. Because we will work as a community, as in the New Testament, and we try to meet the needs. Each of us is responsible for each other, and no person is left out.
Exactly. Nobody left behind. And so can you imagine, as we read the Healing Congregation and we have the example of what was done in practice and is an ongoing practice at this point of our recording, over 50 years, we can only say, to God be the glory. And there are lots of examples that churches can start out small to build their own healing congregations. It was not an overnight thing. And it started part-time in the evening with a couple things. And over time, it has grown by God's grace to many things. And to God be the glory. Dr. Allen, we are so thankful for what you have done in this area. And thank you for giving to the Lord and for being obedient to the Lord as he prompted you.